Hi, my name's Maddie and I'm here with We Should Write Sometimes, and this is Ward Guenther. Okay, tell us a little bit about your first co-write experience.
My first co-write, I think it was back in Memphis. I was wanting to move to Nashville, and everybody said that the climate there was a co-writing scene, and so before I moved to town to chase my dreams, I wanted to kind of get a feel for it. And it was so funny. The guy that I wrote with, I haven't talked to in probably 16 years, and he called me just the other day, and he's like, "Man, you remember that time we went to my grandma's house and wrote that song on her piano?" And I didn't. So I'm glad he called and reminded me of it. But yeah, such a unique thing as you grow up, when I grew up and became a songwriter completely on my own. It was almost like a private thing. Like I would go up in the attic of the house I lived in college and write songs. I'd go in the basement of the dorm and lock myself in the furthest music room, and do it privately, because it is kind of a private, intimate, emotional thing. You're exposing yourself. You don't want to, you wouldn't sit in the middle of a coffee house and write a song. So when you talk about inviting someone else or asking someone else to do this with you, it's you open yourself up to to a huge reward, but you also open yourself up to getting hurt
to
or
vulnerability.
extreme vulnerability. But it's great. We've seen. I mean, we all know the benefits and the fruits of the successful co-writes. You still see occasional hits and number ones and awards and this and that and the other, but I mean, nothing's changed since I moved here. If anything, this culture of co-writing has grown.
So the average amount of like hit songs is like an average of 9 people working on the song.
Oh man,
have you seen that statistic? Yeah, it's crazy. Like co-writes are so important now. It's
great. I mean, I think it is good because it brings in a checks and balances system. You know, when you're writing by yourself, you have a tendency to think that everything is right and best and infallible. But if you have a room full of people, or even just I like 3, because somebody's not the bad guy. So if you're writing if you and I are writing a song and you say, "I don't think so," you're at fault. But if there's 2 other people and they're like, "Yeah, I don't think you're the wrong one," then it's almost funny.
It's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could do it with 9, but I'm up for anything.
I know. I think it's probably like passed along. Like, I don't really know how you would get in a room with like 9 people. That's a little intimidating for me to be like, I have an idea.
Watching the Grammys last week, they were listing out everybody's names that were involved on either production or something, and one of them was 25 something people. It was crazy. We were like,
wow.
They're gonna. If it was the other way around, they would have had to start the music up, play them off.
Right.
But yeah, I see a lot of co-writing sparks at the event I run, Whiskey Jam, because we got a crowd full of hopeful musicians, of aspiring songwriters, of practicing and professional artists and writers both, and they're seeing talent on stage. They're running into people that they've only seen on social media, so it's a really cool just meeting space for a networking area for co-writers and artists, musicians, all kind of stuff like that. It's such a crucial part, such a big part of the community in Nashville. I think that's one of the reasons that Nashville's so admired and widely regarded. It's because of that community. You know, it's everybody's coming up together situation. And so the emergence of We Should Write Sometime has been just taking advantage of the technology that we're all glued to all day. Might as well throw our passion in there with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when you're in a co-writing session, are you more of melody, lyrics, instrumental? Like, what's your... See, mine's lyrics. Like, I got it down, but when it comes to like putting it to piano, I'm like, or guitar or whatever, I'm like, I need help.
I like melody and groove. I think groove is my favorite part of it. Like, just hammering something out to where it feels good. I like writing with somebody on bass and somebody on drums, because I feel like in this world of there's a lot of track guys
Mhm.
writing today, so they're setting this groove, and like there's nothing groovier than a good like infectious bass hook.
Yeah.
So I like to take that and then kind of just honestly like move my mouth and go blah, 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 like
Yeah, you just kind
like
of like
mumble until
yeah,
words
until
start
words.
sounding good together, and then I'll dig into my my little notebook and say, okay, what phrases were we trying to do? What sounds like what you're mumbling over
Yeah.
here? So
That's awesome.
I've never been the music guy. I mean, I've never been like a skilled player of anything.
Yeah.
I can get around,
Yeah, exactly. That's how I am too.
but yeah, I like having people that can access training or years of experience or whatever to
Right.
add that creativity.
So when you first came to Nashville, like after being in Memphis, like did you know anyone here?
I didn't know anybody. I roomed with a guy I went to high school with, and he had gone to Vanderbilt, but we weren't friends in high school, hardly outside of like calculus or whatever. So moving here pretty much on my own, and developed, I started going out every single night of the week to network, to go to writers' nights, to open mic nights, whatever you could possibly do, just to meet people. And I mean, that's what I still do every single day.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do, I think. And that's like the greatest part about this app, because personally I'm not a real like go out person. Like it really takes a lot for me to be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go to Broadway, let's just do it. Or whatever, wherever you end up going to like meet people and meet writers. And like now you have this app where you can be in your bed, in your pajamas, like swiping through and finding someone else like, oh, he writes pop, I really like his song, like he's really good at melody, I'm really good at lyrics, like let's write together.
Yeah.
That's like the best part.
It's crazy. I mean, it's the things you didn't think would ever be a thing.
Yeah, and
like what could be easier than driving through Chick-fil-A, having Chick-fil-A driven to your house? So these things that,
right.
I would say it's not born out of our laziness, but I think it is born out of just maximizing convenience.
Yeah, and some people just have different personalities. Like if you're like very, very outgoing and you love to be social and go out and just run up to people and be like, hey, you look like a songwriter.
Right.
That's right. I personally, like, I can definitely carry on a conversation, but like sometimes, I just want to be.
And there's a ton of songwriters that I know personally that would not survive in a whiskey jam environment or they wouldn't thrive in it. They're not going to go out and drink beers with their friends and bump into somebody and say, hey, oh yeah, I saw you on Instagram, we should write sometime.
Yeah.
As cliche as that phrase has, or as I guess ubiquitous as the phrase has become, there are massive, creative, successful songwriters that wouldn't ever get to use that. It's like, and this kind of gives them a barrier or something to comfortably sit behind and just say, okay, be more mindful and just a different approach than the out in public.
Because like, believe it or not, most musicians are kind of more introverted.
Right.
Like it's kind of like the very emotional sides of people that come out. Yeah. But thank you so much for talking with me.
Of course. No, it's nice seeing you guys. Thanks for coming by the office. And we should write sometime.